Hello, friends. So today, what we're going to read is a book called What Do You Do with a Problem? Okay, so I know we've been talking a little bit about big problems and small problems, and I want you to think about what you can do with a problem. Let's see what happens in the story. We're going to read only half of it right now, and then later on, we're going to read the other half, okay, for tomorrow. What do you do with a problem? I don't know how it happened, but one day I had a problem. I didn't want it. I didn't ask for it. I really didn't like having a problem, but it was there. Do you see his problem? Okay, él tuvo un problema y él dice, yo no lo pedí, no fue algo que yo quise, pero estaba allí. Why is it here? What does it want? What do you do with a problem? I thought. I wanted to make it go away. I shoot it. I scowled at it. I tried ignoring it, but nothing worked. I started to worry about my problem. Remember that word worried? We talked about preocupándose. Okay, that's how you say it in English, worry. So, se comenzó a preocupar por su problema. And what's happening to the problem? What do we notice is happening to the problem? Let's look at the first page. So here's his problem in the beginning of the story. And here's his problem now. What's happening to it? It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, right? Let's see what happens. What if it swallows me up? Do you think he looks happy? No, right? It's hard when we have problems because we don't feel so good sometimes. What if my problem sneaks up and gets me? What if it takes away all of my things? I worried a lot. I worried about what would happen. I worried about what could happen. I worried about this and worried about that. Okay? So remember we talked about that, about worrying, de cuando estamos preocupados y cuando nos preocupamos mucho. Okay, this is what's happening to him. He's really worried as well. And he's worried about what would happen with this problem and what could happen. So it's kind of the same as Prudencia, ¿verdad? Remember Prudencia, she worried about what if this happened. Okay, and that's the same thing as what could happen, right? Algo que puede pasar. Lo mismo que Prudencia, ¿verdad? And the more I worried, the bigger my problem became. What's happening to his problem? Okay, so this reminds me of when we talk about having a small problem, and then sometimes it becomes bigger and bigger and bigger because we're not calming down to try to solve it, right? So this is sometimes what happens when we have a small problem, right? Starts out small, something that we can maybe solve by ourselves, and then it turns so big that we can't think anymore, right? We don't know how to resolve it anymore. So this is why it's really important that when you have a problem, whether it's big or small, you stop and you think, how can I solve this? How can I calm down? If I'm feeling worried or if I'm feeling sad or I'm feeling like too excited, how can I calm down so that I can solve this problem so that it doesn't get too big, right? Because when it gets really big, then it's harder to solve, right? It becomes a little bit more difficult to solve. I wish it would just disappear. I tried everything I could to hide from it. I even found ways to disguise myself, but it still found me. What do you think this word disguise means? Look at the picture. What is he trying to do? He's trying to change, right? It looks like he's trying to change into a tree. I know it's a little difficult to see. But disguise means que te tratas de disfrazar, a cambiar, a hacer otra forma. Entonces, este amigo en el cuento, este personaje, estaba tratando de esconderse del problema y trató de cambiarse para ver si se escondía del problema, pero ¿saben qué? No se pudo esconder. El problema seguía allí y le encontró, right? And the more I avoided the problem, the more I saw it everywhere. I thought about it all the time. I didn't feel good at all. So I want you to think for a minute about a problem that you've had in the past, okay, that you tried to avoid, okay? Now, avoid means that you don't want to try to solve it, okay? You want to put it on the side and you're like, I'll take care of that later. So I want you to think of a problem that maybe you tried to avoid before, and how did that make you feel? Did it get resolved? Did it go away? Or is it the same as what's happening to our character here? Is it still following and getting bigger and bigger? And not only that, but our character isn't feeling very good about it, right? So I want you to think about that. You can write your answer in your notebook if you want. Okay, about a problem that perhaps you really didn't want to deal with, you really didn't want to solve, and what happened when you didn't deal with it? What happened afterwards? What happened to the people around you? Okay, I'll see you tomorrow so that we can finish our book. And I want you to also think, what do you think is going to happen next in our story? Let's find out. Goodbye. See you tomorrow.